So starting in Shabasana on your back, you can have your arms out to the side if you like, or just close beside you, or even on your belly if you like. That sometimes helps you to feel a little bit more stable and grounded. So the practice today is all about stability and groundedness, finding that sort of midline of ourselves where we can come back to when times might seem chaotic, which at the moment for me I'm all over the place. I don't know about you guys, but things are uncertain still, aren't they? And so it's nice to come back to this physical asana practice, remembering that we can take that away into life off the mat, finding a little bit of stability on our mat, taking it away with us. So just feel the body on the mat now. Feel all the parts of your body that are touching the ground. From your heels to the back of your calves, the back of your thighs, back of your pelvis and hips, the shoulders, perhaps the top of the arms, and the back of the head. Just noticing all the parts of you as they're connected to the other. And then if your hands are on your belly, just feeling that sense of comfort and steadiness as you support yourself with your hands in this place. And then noticing that breath. So breathing in and out through the nose as you usually do in your yoga practice, and deepening the breath by expanding the diaphragm, expanding the ribs, and bringing your focus to it. So feeling that steadiness in your breath, that samavriti, which means equal breath. The inhale is the same length as the exhale. And if you like, you can take an Ujjayi breath by lightly constricting the base of your throat now, so that you make this audible sound, but obviously your lips are closed. So you can do that. That helps to keep us steady and grounded during our practice, because we have more attention on our breath. So really bringing much more effort into what we're doing. And then when we move through the postures today, I'll encourage you to perhaps take a soft gaze rather than allowing your eyes to be distracted by what's going on around you. Feeling the steadiness when we perhaps challenge ourselves in balances by maybe closing the eyes, and then noticing the difference when we have this soft gaze, this soft focus. So allowing ourselves to sort of explore stability in different ways. The grounding of your body, the breath moving in and out, and your drishti. So take about 3 more breaths here. Inhaling, filling up the belly. Maybe the hands raise up a little bit, the ribs expand to the side. And breathing out, emptying out anything from the night of sleep, anything that you don't need. 2 more, inhale, full breath, deep and wide. And exhaling, emptying out, softening into it. 1 more, breathing in, good, full breath. And exhaling, softening into it. Alright, and now opening your eyes and staying on your backs, but bending your knees so that the soles of your feet are on the mat. And your knees are bent up to the ceiling. We're going to take Gomukasana, so cow face legs. So you're going to cross your right leg up high over your left and hug the knees in towards you. And then reach and hold on to the outside edge of both your feet, if you can reach it. If you can't quite reach, hold on to your shins. Let your head rest back on the mat and just pull the feet down towards the sides of your body. So they're coming to the opposite sides of the legs. So your right foot's coming over to the left side, left foot's coming over to the right side. The more that you're able to spread the feet away from your body, the deeper you will feel the stretching around to hip. But if you don't want to go so deep so early on, then just bring the heels closer to your bottom, and that will lessen that sensation. Yeah, so you're holding on to your ankles. Yeah, maybe you need to look. Breathe in. So it's a supine cow face pose. And breathe out. You're not staying here too long, just one more breath in. Inhaling, feel your spine lengthen a little bit more towards the mat. Maybe the tailbone comes towards the floor. And exhale, keep the shoulders soft and heavy. And then release the hands from the feet, bring both feet down and change legs. So just have the left leg, the left thigh on top of the right. And then reach your arms to the outsides of the feet, so the pinky toe edges of the feet, and just pull the feet down towards you. So again, see if you can lengthen the tailbone, lengthen the lower spine towards the mat. Feet can be close to your bottom or further away, depending on how deep you want that sensation. And this might feel different on one side to the other. Let the shoulders be soft, breathing in. And breathing out, feeling the parts of your body still grounded. Feeling that breath steady and noticing where your drishti is, your gaze. Maybe it's along the tip of your nose for this practice. Good, and then next breath in, release the legs, bring both feet down onto the mat, the knees are up. And then again, bring your right knee up high over your left, crossing the thighs. And this time, if you can, you're going to take eagle legs by wrapping the right toes behind the left calf. So taking that full wrap. If a full wrap's not quite, it's not available to you this morning, just keep as much as you can. And then reach your arms, pointing them up to the ceiling. We're going to take the same with our arms, eagle arms. So bring the right elbow down underneath the left, okay? So the right leg's on top and the right arm's underneath. And then bring the left toe to touch the mat and reach your fingers behind your head. Good. Take a breath in. And then we're going to crunch in and bring the knees and the elbows up towards each other. Inhaling, we'll reach back so the toe touches, the fingertips reach back, and exhale, crunch in. We'll do about 5 more of these. Breathing in as you go back and exhaling as you hug in. So just move with your breath and notice what your breath is doing and see if you can keep it with this steadiness and this evenness in the tempo. Good. The slower you go, actually the harder, I know you all know this, the more difficult and challenging. When you next come up, hold it here, so you're crunching up. 5, 4, so really rounding up as much as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the toes down, release the arms out to the side, and then your hips just wiggle over to the right a little bit, taking a brief twist as you bring the knees, still intertwined if you can, over to the left. Turn your gaze to the right and feel the back of your shoulders, ground it down into the mat. Feel the back of your hands, feel all the parts of your body, finding that support. Nice. And then bring your legs back up to center. Uncross that right leg and then switch sides. So the left leg up high over the right. Take the eagle, Garudasana legs. So maybe you're taking the full bind, maybe not. Then the arms reach up to the ceiling to start with, bringing the left elbow underneath the right, wrapping the forearms around. And then when you have that contact, bring the fingertips to touch the floor behind your head, and the right toe will touch the mat. Take a breath in to start. And then let's curl in as high as you can, tapping the knee and the elbow. And then breathing in as you find space, exhaling as you curl in. You're taking a few more with your own breath. So we're trying to do about 8 of these all together. Just moving with that breath and that attention, and notice where your gaze is going. So notice if it's wandering around or you're thinking of something else. Can you keep that focal point just beyond your nose? 1 more here. When you next come up, hold it up again, really curl in as tight as you can for 5, 4, 3, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other as well, 2, and 1, lower down. Release the arms out to a T, wiggle the hips over to the left a little bit and take that twist as the knees come over to the right. Yeah, maybe your gaze goes over to the left as well, in the opposite direction from your knees. And feel that sensation of the parts of your body on the mat. Feel that stability that the mat and the earth beneath you is providing. Good. And then bring your knees back up to center and uncross that left knee from your right. Hug both knees into your chest. And then from here, you're just going to rock up maybe 3, maybe 4 times. Just notice, you might want to bring your feet behind your head a bit more into almost a sort of like a plow pose. You might not want to go so far. When you next come up, you're going to make your way into tabletop. Oh, I'm seeing stars. I need to find more steadiness and grounding, obviously. Come into tabletop and let's just take about 3 cat and cows, just to really center ourselves here. So think about moving from the tailbone and engaging through your center. So breathing in, tailbone comes up, let the length of the front of the body really grow even longer, looking up and exhaling, lengthening the tailbone down, hugging the navel towards the spine, looking between knees. 2 more. Breathing in as you find that space, staying with that breath, steady and even, maybe Ujjayi, remember. Exhaling, your gaze, your drishti is just along the tip of your nose. 1 more, inhaling, looking up, maybe going a little bit cross-eyed, stimulating your optic nerve, round the back. Yeah, come back to that center point, and then tuck the toes, and we're going to come straight up to down dog. So reach the hips up to the ceiling. I know it's early in the morning. If you've just got up, then just go easy on the back of your legs. Maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable here, so you might want to pedal your feet, or you might prefer to stay still. But wherever you are, just see if you can feel the weight of the hands pressing down equally to the weight of the feet pressing down. And when you're ready, hug the low belly in and find stillness in your down dog. As you relax the neck, look between the knees. Wrap the upper arm bones in a little bit, so it's like you're trying to broaden through the back of the body. And hide your armpits from your imaginary neighbour. Breathe in and breathe out. And keep that light hugging in sensation in your core. Keep the drishti focused just in front of your nose. Inhale, come forwards to a plank. Good, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, coming up high off the heels, maybe a little bit of a rolling wave, hug the belly in, exhale back to down dog. Move with your own breath, so keep the breath steady and even. Keep the weight in the hands and feet as even as possible. You'll likely come a bit more into your hands as you come forwards. Good. 1 more. Nice, and then back to downward facing dog. From here, you're going to keep your left foot where it is and reach the right leg up. 3-leg down dog. We're going to do the same thing with 3 legs. So inhale, come forwards to a plank, 3-legged plank. Don't let that leg come up too high. Keep hugging in using the core. And then reach the right leg up. Good, then exhale, come forwards again, 3-leg plank. Good, press the ground away, protract the upper back. Inhale, come back. Exhale, last time here. Good, hold it here for another breath in. And another breath out. Well done. And then 3-leg down dog, right leg reaches up and right foot down. We'll change sides. All right, so reach the left leg up, ground through the right foot. Inhale, come forwards to a plank, 3-legged plank. Hug that left out hip in a little bit if it's lifting up. Exhale back. Good, inhale back, should I say. Exhale forwards. Good, just move a few times with your breath. So if you're moving slightly differently to what I'm guiding, that's okay, as long as your breath's just that attention to it. And your drishti, your focus, as much as possible. I know you need to look at the screen a bit, but try and keep that soft gaze whenever you remember. 1 more, and then come back, and downward facing dog. All right. From here, you're going to come forwards into a plank. Just pause in that plank. Think about pressing the ground away, hugging the belly in. Good. Maybe energize through the legs as the heels reach back. You can feel the legs. Look just between your hands, and then we're going to lower it all the way down to your belly. So your knees can come down if you like, or lower in one line, but keep the elbows hugging in. You bring your elbows underneath your shoulders into Sphinx. So elbows under shoulders, hands in line with elbows. Start to pull the heart through, so lengthen the front of the body, so you're reaching the collarbone away from the pubic bone. And then start to hug the belly in, tuck the toes, come up onto your knees, and then find this forearm plank. So find your forearm plank, hug the lower ribs in towards each other, then turn your palms to face up. So turn the palms upwards. Just similar to what we did last week, lift your hands away from the mat, your elbows are on the floor, and then as though you're peeling the arms out to the sides. Good, but your elbows are firm. They're still the same level. You'll feel this a little bit more in your core. Stay strong and stay grounded. Breathe in. Stabilizing through the shoulders a little bit here. Breathe out, bring the hands back to center, palms down. Then lower the knees down, lower the belly down. Whew. Bring the hands behind you, and let's come up into locust with your legs zipped up into one leg. So inhale, start to lift the shoulders and the head, and then lift the feet and the knees, maybe the bottom of the thighs. The arms can fly back, palms face down, so the little fingers are close to your thighs, or at least that side. And then try and touch the soles of your feet together. Keep the back of the neck long, so we're trying to stabilize through some of our joints that are very mobile as well when we think about stability, so the hips and the shoulders especially, and the spine a little bit. Breathe in. And exhale, lower down. Good, hands come underneath your shoulders, and we're going to push back to down dog. If you want to do a reverse press up, you're feeling strong, you're going to tuck your toes, hug the elbows in, hug the belly in, and press up, maybe halfway, maybe full way, and down dog. Perhaps you don't want to do that, you want to come up via a child's pose, and that's good too. Just pause here and breathe a minute. Find stability again between your hands and your feet. Inhaling, keep that breath steady as well. And exhale. Nice, next breath, you're going to walk your feet until they're behind your hands. So nothing fancy, just tiptoe them forwards. And then arrive in that Uttanasana, forward fold. Bending the knees as generously as your body needs, and letting your neck hang long, your head be heavy. And then perhaps just feel the feeling of the earth underneath your feet. And then reach your arm, hold on to your opposite elbows, like we often do. Sway left and right. And where are you looking? Where is your gaze? And how is your breath? Can you find that center point between the left foot and the right foot? And then find stability in stillness. Relax your neck a little bit. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good job, everyone. And then release your hands. Gonna just come up to a halfway lift. So you can bring your hands towards your shins to sort of find this angle, or you can reach your arms back. It's your choice, really. And then exhale, bending the knees softly, folding. And then you're going to press into the feet, rolling up, kind of one vertebra at a time. Think of your spine as it uncurls from that folding position all the way up into its natural shape. Hands by the side. Good, so starting in Tadasana. All right, we're going to take, we're going to go straight into our flow. No, we're not. We're going to take one Sun Salutation C, just to get a bit more core stability, and then we're going to move into our flow. All right, so in Sun Salutation C today, we're going to start with a chair pose. So ground through the feet and sit your hips back and low as you can. You might like to bring your fingertips to graze the floor and stay that depth, and reach the arms up so that your biceps are alongside your ears if your shoulders feel okay with that. Good, so opening up into the chest, reaching the arms long, hips sitting back a little bit more. Hug the inner thighs, breathing in, grounding through the feet. Gaze, drishti is focused just ahead of you. Breathe out and fold forwards into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, stepping your right foot back, coming to double bent knee. You're not bringing that knee down, you're keeping the back knee bent. Reach the arms up so you've got some energy in that back leg. The back heel is up, so notice how this feels. Good, and then lengthen the tailbone down, breathing in, reach the fingertips up. Both hands down, step back to a plank. Good, inhaling your plank. And then exhale, lower all the way down onto the belly. Good. Bring your hands forwards onto your elbows, finding Sphinx pose. Breathe in and start to lengthen the front of your body. And then breathe out, tuck the toes, come into that forearm plank again. Good. Inhale, turn the palms up. We're going to do exactly what we did in the warm-up. Lift the hands away from the mat and bring the hands towards the outsides of the mat. Good. Stabilize through the shoulders a little bit by pressing into your elbows, maybe a little bit of engagement in your core, a little bit more, strong in the legs, strong in the bottom muscles. And then bring the hands back to their natural place in front of the elbows, palms down. Woo. Bring the knees down, lower all the way down. Woo. Hands come behind you. Again, keep them out wide and lift up. Bring the feet together, zip up the legs, keep the back of the neck long. Hug the low belly in and your drishti just along the front of your nose, just beyond the top of the mat, and the breath steady and smooth. And lower down, hands under shoulders, tuck your toes. Remember, it's an option to come through reverse chaturanga if you like. So chaturanga to halfway and then up to preta and down dog. I know some of you like to work on strength. If you don't want to do that today, it's really fine. Breathe in, look forwards, and exhale, stay here. Good, right leg reaches up to the sky. Bend that knee, look where you want to put your foot in the middle of your hands. Come into that bent double knee, high lunge, crescent lunge. Reach the fingertips up and lengthen the tailbone down. And then exhale, both hands to the top of the mat, step the back foot forwards, fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling to that halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Press into the feet and reach the arms out wide. Keep hugging the low belly in, drishti up to your fingertips. Hands to your heart. Good, we'll do one more side starting on the left. Inhale, reach the arms up. A little bit more fluid this time. Sit down into chair pose. Find that chair pose for one full breath in and out. The arms reach long, the bottom reaches back, hugging in the belly and the inner thighs. And exhale, fold forwards. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, strengthen and lengthen. Exhale, hands down, left foot back. Double bent knee, reach the arms up. Hug the low belly in, the ribs are hugging in. Good. Next exhale, both hands down. Find that plank again. Breathe in your plank, firm through this core, center of the body. Stay grounded and lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Again, finding that Sphinx to start with. Inhale as you reach the heart through, stretching the front of the body. Exhale, tuck the toes. Lifting up into that forearm plank. We're going to change it up this time. So lifting up your right foot just a little bit, pointing the toes back. Feel that stability in your core. Feel the stability in your shoulders a little bit. Option here, if you want to, reach the left arm forwards. It's quite a challenge, so your drishti, your gaze needs to be just ahead towards that front thumb. Whew. Bring that left hand down, right foot down. Stay with it, hug the low belly in. Reach the left leg back. Either stay here or try reaching the right arm forwards. And notice what the opposite hip to your arm is doing. So that left hip might be going down. See if you can square it a little bit. Maybe wobbling like me, that's all right. Right elbow down, left foot. Knees come down, lower all the way down. Whew. Is anyone else breathing? Inhale, come up into a locust pose. Bring the feet to touch. Squeeze the back of the shoulder blades, but hug the belly in and keep your gaze focused just beyond the mat. And lower down. Ooh. Hands under shoulders, elbows hugging in. Either back through a reverse chaturanga or maybe a child's pose. Downward facing dog. All right, take one breath in. Breathe in. And breathe out. Find that stability in your breath if you've lost it a bit like me. And then left leg reaches up to the sky. Look forwards, bend that knee into your chest and step the left foot between the hands. Double bent knee, high crescent lunge, reaching the arms up. Good. And then both hands top of the mat, step the back foot forwards, fold. Nice, inhale, halfway lift, strengthen the back of the body. Exhale, fold. Ground through the feet, feel the arms lift up. Feel the hands touch, find stability there, fingertips reach up, maybe gaze is up, hands to your heart. Whew. Okay, we're going to move into our flow. I apologise if I'm a bit hyper, I've had about 3 coffees today, and I can tell. All right, we're going to start in this flow, hopefully do it 2 times through, and then some nice stretches. So slower on the first round. So we're going to start at the top of your mat, and we're going to find eagle pose to start with, Garudasana, full eagle. So I'll face you to do this, but you're facing the top of your mat. So bring your arms up in front of you and sit your hips back into chair pose. Good, let's start with the arms. So bring that left arm, I'm going to try and mirror you, underneath the right, crossing the forearms and the palms join. Then try and lift the elbows up and move the hands forward so you feel the energy in the upper back. And then you're grounding through that right foot. And you're going to pick the left knee up high over the right, just like you did when we were warming up. And maybe take that wrap as the foot comes behind the calf. Maybe not quite, doesn't matter. Maybe you need a bit of support. And then everyone sit down a little bit more and upper body leans back a little bit. So you're finding this engagement, this groundedness in the standing leg. Just notice this stability and where you can get it from a bit more in this sort of unstable pose. It might be through pressing the big toe in, and it might be through focusing your gaze on something that doesn't move. It might be through keeping your breath steady. Nice, one more breath here, inhale. And exhale. Keep your arms as they are, straighten the knees, undo that bind, and reach the right leg back and back. Don't be in a rush, bend the left knee, and step the right foot back and the right heel down. Coming into warrior one, but with eagle arms. So it can be as short as you need it to be, just as long as you can find stability. Both hips trying to square to the top of the mat, so if you need to step that back foot wider, go ahead. Breathe in here. Hug the low belly in, and then come into humble warrior with eagle arms. So reaching the fingertips towards the floor. I'm going to face the other way so you can see me a bit clearly. Good. Your gaze is just beyond your nose again. Release the hands now, and then swim the right arm all the way up, all the way back, turning the right toes to face the right side of the mat, widening your stance if you need to, Virabhadrasana 2. Good. So getting the front thigh as parallel as you can to the ground, knee in line with the toe. You know, all the different alignment cues. And where is your drishti? So traditionally we're looking down the front fingertips in warrior 2. So see if you can stay with this focus point and see if you can regulate your breath a bit more. Breathing in and breathing out. And now notice what it's like if you lift that front heel up. Good. See if you can stabilize a little bit more into the back leg. Good. Maybe see what it's like if you close your eyes. Just challenge this stability, noticing where it comes from. Ooh, I feel quite wobbly when I do that. Yeah, then if you've got that heel raised, putting the heel down. And then straightening the front knee as you turn the palms up. You're going to straighten the front knee, reach the arms up. And then exhale, everything goes back down with gravity. You're breathing in, so you're lifting up like a balloon when you come up. And then exhale, find that stability, pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. Breathe in, reach up. And exhale. Stay here and take a peaceful warrior. Right hand down, left arm up. Good, and again, lift up that front heel if you like. Notice how is your stability. And see what happens if you look up to your top fingertips. Are you a little bit more wobbly? It's probably going to create that sensation of a little bit less stability. Hug the low belly in. Press into the outside edge of the back foot. And keep your breath smooth and steady. And then bring your gaze back to center. Bring that heel down. Both arms back to warrior 2. Straighten the front knee. Whew. Turn all toes to face the side of your mat. And then heels in, toes out. Bring your hands onto your hips for a moment. Just roll the shoulders back and down. Just reset your shoulders. Good. Coming into goddess pose, because we are goddesses, aren't we? Bend the knees so that your knees and your toes are in the same direction. So we've all got different ways that our hips fit into the, our top of our thigh bones fit into the sockets. So just be where it is natural, okay? Not everyone's going to look exactly the same. Once you've found that depth, maybe go from left to right. Hands can come to your, just above the knees. Just find a center point, but try not to come up and down, just side to side. Good. Once you've found that central point and your gaze is still fixed, can you bring your hands up to cactus? And then can you lift the the feet, the heels up. Woo. Just notice how this feels. Keep opening the elbows out and at the same time hug the ribs in. Use that center of yourself to keep you stable here. Breathe in. Oh, and if you're wobbling, you're like me, it's okay. Breathe out. One more, inhale. And exhale, heels come down, hands come to the waist, straighten the knees. Turn the toes to face that side of the mat. And then roll the shoulders back and down. Bring the elbows behind you as though you want to touch the elbows together. So you're opening through the sternum. And then hug the low belly in and get that engagement through the center. Breathe in first and coming forwards to Prasarita Paratanasana A. Leading with your chin, staying long in the spine. And when you can't go forwards anymore, start by letting your neck relax and your gaze to come maybe behind you. And then your hands can come down onto the mat. Feel a little bit more weight in the toes and a little bit less in the heels. And perhaps start to close your eyes here. And just notice how this feels. You might feel very stable. If you're not, then just perhaps press into your feet a little bit more and strengthen through your legs. Good. Inhaling. And exhale. Good. If your eyes are closed, you can open them maybe. Breathe in and come up halfway. Lengthen here. And then start to walk your hands to the front of the mat again. Turning to face the front of the mat. Coming into lizard lunge. I should be facing this. I think your left foot will be forwards, won't it? Or is your right foot forward? Your right foot's forwards, I can tell. Right foot's forwards, is it? Yes, right foot forwards. Then heel toe that right foot to the side so that your hands are inside that leg and you're in a lizard lunge. Good. Now notice how it feels here. You might want to bring a block to raise the ground nearer to you. Bring the shoulder blades back towards each other and lengthen the back of the neck. Keep the gaze along the front tip of the nose. Keeping off that back heel, can you lift the front heel up? So I don't know if you can see it there. Can you lift the front heel up? Good. Seeing how this feels. Breathe in and breathe out. A little bit of strength work. Good. Maybe lift one hand onto your hip. So you've just got one fingertips on the floor. Maybe lift the other hand onto the other hip. Just stay here for a moment. Find stability if you can. Where is your gaze and how is your breath? And then both hands come down, bring that heel down. Heel toe that foot into the center a bit more. And then we're going to come up into Pajamas, pyramid pose, straightening the front knee and not putting the back heel down. So it's a bit of a funky pyramid and it's quite wide as well. You can step the back foot in a little bit if you like. Can you bring the toes to face your face on the front leg? And then bring that right outer hip back, left outer hip forwards. Find stability in your center, so up through the pelvic floor muscles, drawing all the way up through the center of your body. And maybe exhaling and lengthening the chin towards the toes. Good. Breathe in. And exhale. Maybe let that foot come flat on the mat. Stay where you are, and can you reach your arms back? So challenge your stability here by pressing into the big toe of the front foot and by hugging that left outer hip in and the right outer hip back. So squeezing everything to the midline, the arms fly back. Draw the shoulder blades, the strong shoulder blades, find stability there. Nice, and then release the hands. All right, come into standing splits. I know it's a lot on this hamstring, we're not going to be here too long. Lifting the left leg up, and again, maybe challenging your balance by holding behind the calf muscle with both hands, or maybe one hand. And your drishti, your focus, is just at the front of the mat or just beyond the nose. One more breath in, breathing in. Oh, and exhale. Hands come onto the block and bring that left foot to meet the right. Good, bend the knees, find chair pose for a minute. Not for a whole minute, just for a moment. Inhale. And then exhale, come all the way up to standing. The arms reach up, palms touch, hands to your heart. All right, we'll do that on the other side. Okay, so we're going to take the other side with eagle. So reach the arms up and sit back into chair. Good, let's see if I can remember which side we started with. So now you're going to bring the right arm underneath the left crosses on top. Lift the elbows up and move the hands forwards. Keep that really deep bend, hug the belly in. And then you're going to ground into the left foot as you pick up the right knee, high over the left. Take that double bind if you can. Trying to get the knees and the elbows all facing forwards as much as is possible in your body. Squeeze the inner thighs so that you've got that engagement in your pelvic floor muscles, and keep your breath smooth, so slow it down a bit. And focus your gaze, perhaps just beyond the nose, maybe towards your wrists. Can you lift the elbows up a bit more if you've lost that engagement in your upper back? Wonderful. And then keep your arms as they are. Release as you come out of the bind of the legs. Ground into that front leg, reach the left leg back and back. Gently stepping back into Virabhadrasana 1. The heel comes down, the elbows reach up, the low belly hugs in. The gaze is steady, breathing in, pressing into both feet equally. Maybe both big toes are finding the ground underneath them a bit more. And then come forwards into Humble Warrior. So reaching forwards on the inside of that right leg. Fingertips can touch the floor, they might not. And the next breath in, release the hands and swing the left arm all the way up, all the way around and back, turning the left toes to the left, bending into the right knee. So finding strength in your Warrior 2, going to be here for a little while. So think about pressing into the outside edge of the back foot and the front foot equally. The arms are strong and the drishti is down the front fingertips, so your right hand. Notice what your breath is doing. Breathing in, having a light engagement as your belly hugs in. Lengthen the tailbone down, no sassy bums. And exhale. Good, then lift that front heel. If you did it on the other side, if you want to do it, get that balance between both sides, lifting the heel. Taking that moment, breathing in. Maybe closing your eyes if you did it on the other side, noticing, how can I stay a bit more stable? What's left? Perhaps it's just the breath. That's fine. Inhale. And exhale. If your eyes are closed, you can open them now and bring that heel down. Or let's flow. The hands point up and straightening front knee, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, coming back down, but resisting gravity, finding stability. Inhale, lifting up, light as a feather, and exhaling. Good, one more time, breathe in. And exhale, come back down to Warrior 2, and then take that peaceful warrior, left arm back, right arm up. Good, and again, if you want to find a bit more challenge in this stability, looking up to the right fingertips, maybe lifting the right heel up as well. If it doesn't feel good in your body, of course, everything I say is always just an option. So, you know, go with what's good in your body. I know you all will anyway. Breathing in and exhale. Good, then bring that right heel down, come back into Warrior 2 and straighten the front knee. Turn the toes again to face the side of the mat. And then bring your hands onto your hips, roll the top of the shoulders back, the elbows hug in. Again, we're coming into Prasarita Paratanasana A. So lengthen through the spine and hug the belly in. Keep the drishti just beyond your nose. Keep looking forwards. And as you exhale, come further down until you can't go any further. And then you're going to bring your hands underneath you, but this time can you walk the hands behind you? So it's like I'll turn my back to you so you can see more clearly. The backs of your hands are coming towards the mat. The crown of your head is reaching towards, the backs of your hands are reaching beyond the mat, behind you. Palms face up. Perhaps closing your eyes again. Crown of the head reaching down, tailbone reaching up. Just noticing if you need a little bit more stability. Pressing into your feet to lift up through the thighs. Hugging the low belly in and keeping the gaze maybe soft. The breath steady. Good. And then bring your hands back to center. Walking them back till they're underneath your face, halfway lift. And exhale, turn and face the front of the mat again. And then heel toe, that front foot to the side. So I think you've got your, is it your right foot? Your other leg anyway. Left leg, I don't know why my right foot's in front this time. I've obviously done something wrong. And then heel toe that foot out to the side to come into this lizard lunge. Maybe you want to find the center point between forwards and back by bobbing forwards and back a little bit. Maybe you want to bring the ground up to you with blocks. That's good as well. Good. And then draw the shoulder blades back, so engage through the shoulder blades a bit more, hug the belly in and lift the front heel up. So I need to step my back foot in, my back heel's up. Then maybe one hand on a hip, hug the belly in. Drishti is somewhere where something's not moving, so just ahead of your mat. And then your breath is steady, maybe picking the other hand onto your other hip. You don't have to do this, it's quite strong in the hips, so just notice. 3, stay with that breath. 2, and 1. Bring the heel down, bring your hands down. Oh, heel toe that foot to the center again. You might want to use blocks again. Come up into pyramid pose, Pajamas, with the toes pointing up. This time, left out hip back, right out hip forwards. Hug the inner thighs, keep the shoulder blades working towards each other, and then lengthen your chest forwards, looking towards your toes, avoiding rounding the back if you can. Keep drawing up through your pelvic floor muscles and your breath. Smooth and steady. Feel the parts of your body that are touching something. So your front heel, your back, front of the foot, your hands. Maybe closing your eyes if you like. Good, and then bring that foot down onto the mat and come forwards into standing splits. So again, you can challenge yourself if you like. Oh, I forgot to reach the arms back, but never mind. Do you want to do that balance? We'll do it next time. Sorry, we did it on the other side and not this side, reaching the arms back in pyramid. If you want to do that, go ahead, come back to it, reach the arms back, challenge yourself. If you want to kind of stay in this standing split, stay. Maybe holding behind the ankle, the calf. Breathe in. And breathe out. Find stability in your breath again as you bring the right foot next to the left, bend into the knees, reach the arms up. Find a Uttanasana, fierce pose. Arms are strong, hugging the belly in, and then ground through the feet, reach the arms up, maybe looking up as the palms join, and hands to your heart. Alright, we'll do that one more time, one breath per move. So take a breath to start, bring the hands by the side. Feel the earth underneath you. Fix your gaze. Inhaling. And exhale. Good. Bend the knees and reach the arms up. Let's come into that eagle pose. Left elbow underneath right. Cross the elbows, hands together. Elbows up, hands forwards. Keep bending into the knees as you lift that left knee up high over the right. Take the bind. So you're stood on your right leg now. Good. Breathe in here. And breathe out, sit down 1 more centimeter. Good, then inhale, slowly straighten the legs, undo the legs, and step that foot back and back and back. So the left foot comes back, grounding through the left heel, reach the arms up, eagle here. Eagle in warrior 1, breathing in. And exhale, humble your warrior, bringing the hands on the inside of that front leg, the right leg. And exhale. And then from here, undo your arms, breathe in and reach that left arm all the way up and back. Sink into that front knee. Good. Just for a couple of breaths, look along the fingertips of the front hand and lift that front heel up. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe close your eyes, one more breath here. Breathe in, hug the belly in, feel that breath. Breathe out. Bring that heel down. And then come to a peaceful warrior. So we're missing out the movement here. Reaching the right arm up, left arm down. Maybe looking up. And then again, lifting the heel if you want to. We're just here for another breath. Inhale. And exhale. Bring that heel down. Come back to the center. Straighten the front knee. And turn the toes to face the side of the mat. All right, from here, toes out, heels in. Let's sit down again. Did I miss this on the other side? I think I might have. And then lift both heels up. Oh, we don't want to miss it too many times. Just come straight into your goddess with the heels up if you can. See if you can challenge yourself with a bit of instability. Yeah, arms up to cactus if you like. Rachel, good. Good prompt, thank you. Inhale. And exhale, stay. Sit down 1 more centimeter. Be strong, everyone. And then press through the feet, the heels come down. Hands come onto your hips, toes face forwards. Good. Roll the shoulder blades back, squeeze the elbows in, and then come forwards into that wide leg forward fold. Hands come under your face. Now if you want to take a tripod headstand, I know it's not, it is, you do need quite a bit of stability here for this, so you need a strong core. You need to hug the elbows in, and you need stability in your shoulders too. Don't allow too much weight into your neck. This is really not, you know, a pose to stay in very long. So if you want to come into this tripod headstand and you know it, you're making a triangle with your hands and then your head, and you're lifting your legs up. And you can stay maybe for 2 breaths at the most. And then bring the legs out wide to straddle, flex the feet, and bring them back down again. Feel grounded in both feet. And so if you are up there, come back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Turn and face the front of the mat. Good, then both hands come either side of the front of the foot, the front foot this time. Good, finding your stability here in this lizard, and then reach the arms back. Lift the front heel up, just stay here for a count of 3, 2, well done, and 1. Bring both hands down, straighten the front knee, lift the toe up, right outer hip back, left outer hip forwards. If you want to, maybe the arms can fly back. Oh, I feel a bit more wobbly this time. Breathing in. Exhale, both hands down. Step forwards into that standing splits just for 1 breath. Maybe challenging with your balance, a little bit of stability in your gaze. And then both hands to both feet to the mat. Take the chair pose, reach the arms up. And straighten the knees. Come all the way up over Headstand as you look up to the palms. Hands to your heart. All right, last side. Bend into your knees, reach the arms up. Right elbow comes under left for Interdasana Eagle. Elbows up, forearms forwards, and then lifting that left knee up high over your right, come into the eagle legs. Sit down just for 1 full breath in and out. Upper body leans back, squeezing the thighs, drishti. Focus where you're going to focus, breath smooth. The next breath in, start to straighten the legs, reaching that right leg back and back and back, coming into warrior 1. Energy through the back of the shoulders as the elbows lift up, and then reach forwards, finding your humble warrior, noticing where your breath is, feeling the energy in your feet. Release the hand, the bind, and then swim the right arm forwards, up and back, coming into warrior 2. All right, lift up that front heel, drishti along the front fingertips if you like. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more breath. Inhaling and exhale. That heel comes down, and then take the peaceful warrior, looking up to the front fingertips. Maybe lifting that heel up again. I know it's a long time on this front leg. Stay with your breath, pressing into the back foot equally. And then come back to warrior 2, bring the heel down. Straighten the front knee, turn the toes to face the side of the mat. Heels in, toes out, goddess for the last time. Roll the shoulders back first, and then sit your hips down. Cactusing the elbows. Good, and lifting both heels if you can. Just staying here, breathing in. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Breathing in. Exhale, maybe a little bit lower. If you've got 1 more depth in you, inhale. Exhale a little bit lower. And then ground the heels, straighten the knees. Hands come onto your hips. Turn the toes to face the side of the mat again. Roll the shoulders back and down. Elbows hug back if you like. And exhale, come forwards into that Prasarita Paratanasana, forward fold. So hinge from the hips, lead with the chin. Gaze, your drishti is fixed. And again, if you want to take a couple of breaths, don't rush it though. Coming into tripod headstand, I'm just going to stay here this time. And find a bit of stability in my breath. If you want to come up to tripod, make sure you're breathing stable. You're breathing with stability. And the parts of your body that are on the mat are stable and strong. Good, and then coming back down, lovely, nice tripods. Start to look forwards, inhale, halfway lift. And then walking your hands to the front of the mat. Make sure that that foot's again in the center rather than out to the side. Hug the inner thighs towards each other, so left out hip back, right out hip forwards, reach the arms back. Lift up that front heel, we're nearly there. Breathe in, hug the belly in. Breathe out, both hands down. That front heel comes down and then lift the front toes. Again, left out hip back, right out hip forwards, lengthen through the heart then. So reaching the chin towards the toes, drishti just beyond the toes. And again, if you want to find that little bit of stability challenge, maybe come onto fingertips. I think that's about all that I can do right now. You might want to lift both arms. Inhaling. Well done. That's good. Excellent, Ali. And then exhale, bring that left foot down. Come forwards into standing split. Might take a little bit of a leap. And forward folds in your standing split. One breath here. Breathe in. And exhale. Bring that right foot next to the left. Sit down into chair pose. Last time here. Inhale as the arms reach up. Strong chair. And exhale. Press through the feet. The arms come all the way up. Hands to your heart. Just pause for a moment in Tadasana, mountain pose. Close your eyes for a moment. And let your breath come back to that steadiness. So the inhale matched by the exhale. Feel the left foot equally grounded to the right. And feel the crown of the head lifted. Not leaning over to one side more than the other. The back of the head in line with the back of the heart. Back of the heart in line with the back of the pelvis. Standing up nice and tall. And then if your eyes are still closed, just fluttering them open. Come down onto the mat for a few stretches. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Good, breathe in, halfway lift. And then just step back to downward facing dog. We're going to come into Pigeon. So we're going to take this on the right side to start with. So reach your right leg up to the sky. And then when you're ready, bending that right knee behind the wrist. You're going to stay in proud pigeon today. So proud pigeon, you might want to bring your blocks up. You might want to keep the back toe tucked if you like. But just wiggle that back foot back and back, finding stability here. So notice if you go straight into a back bend like this, see if you can just press into that front shin and lengthen the tailbone down to find a bit more stability here. This left glute is going to be engaged a bit more. You can also relax the foot if you like. So just see what feels better. It feels quite nice to press the top of my foot down because I get a little bit more stretch in my hip flexor. Try and bring that left hip forwards as the right out hip goes back, and you'll find that you naturally lift up. You might want to stay here holding onto the blocks. Keep your drishti just ahead of you. So it's quite an active pigeon, just for a breath or so. Inhaling. And exhale. Keep the low ribs hugging in. One more. Inhale, shoulder blades go back. Keep them strong and stable. And exhale. Allow your hips to sink now. And then reach the arms forwards. And just find about 3 breaths in your sleeping pigeon. You can always stay up in the proud pigeon if you like. But just allow yourself to feel this nice nourishment in this hip stretch here. Noticing maybe how it feels compared to the beginning class when we did those hip stretches. The cow face and the eagle legs. And you keep your breath moving smooth and steady. Next breath in, start to walk your hands back. Lower yourself onto that right hip and bring your left leg out to the side. And then bend your right knee, pressing into the right foot. You're going to hold on to the outside of that ankle with the left hand if you can, if it's in your body too. If you prefer to come into Shabasana shape with the sole of the foot near the inner thigh, then that's fine too. And we're going to side bend over that left leg. So keeping hold of the right shin with your left hand, reach that right arm up and over. Start to turn your body to look up to the ceiling. You might only get as far as this, that's fine. You might get like this, that's fine. But notice what your breath is doing and see if you can keep it steady. And then notice what your right hip's doing. And if it's lifting a long way away from the ground because you want so much to reach that outstretched toe, see if you can press that hip down into the ground just a little bit more. It might not even touch, but just have that intention, that energetic sort of movement. And you'll notice a little bit deeper stretch through the right side body. And that's your intention for this. Breathe in. And breathe out. Nice. Next breath in. Ground through the right foot as you lift up all the way to come up to a seat. Good. And then you're going to bring that left foot forwards, cross the ankles, go back to down dog, and we'll just do the same on the other side from pigeon. So you might want to take a few movements. You might even want to do a vinyasa, anything that helps you to reconnect that sense of being steady in your breath. When you're ready, the left leg reaches up and you come into pigeon by bringing the left knee behind the left wrist. Heel toeing that right leg back and back so that I really feel stable. Remember, if you need something to support that bent knee hip, to find more stability, to protect your joints, then you must do that. I'm going to relax the toe and press the foot down, hug the low belly in, and take that back bend out of it as much as I can by lengthening the tailbone down, getting a little bit of lift. Maybe you don't need hands, maybe you'd like a bit of support. And then gaze your drishti along the front of your nose. Breathing in. So finding this steadiness again, this sense of noticing the parts of your body on the mat and touching the blocks if you're using them, and where your gaze is and how your breath is. And then the next exhale, just let your hips sink down and come into that sleeping pigeon just for about 3 breaths. So allow yourself just to be held by gravity now, supported in steadiness by this earth that's spinning around so fast. It just blows my mind. How we can find steadiness. Alright, then the next breath in, you start to walk your hands back. And then leaning over to that left side, bring your right leg out to the side, bending the left knee. If you did it on the other side, holding onto the ankle with your right hand, turning your, I actually find it's nice to turn my body towards that bent knee, and then I start to naturally look up and keep that side bend. And then again, if your left hip's up a lot, just ground it down a little bit. It doesn't need to actually reach it, it's just the energetic sensation of pressing that hip away from you and reaching the left fingertips in the opposite direction, which will give you a nice sensation. Breathe in, keep your breath steady, keep your gaze just focused along the nose. Maybe you're letting go of that Ujjayi Breath, maybe you're staying with it. Whatever helps to keep you grounded and steady. And then the next breath, come back up to your center and then bring both feet forwards. And we're just going to take a little twist, seated twist before we lower down. We haven't done a back bend today, so if you feel that you want that before you come into Shabasana, it's your practice. So go ahead and do that, all right? Or any sort of inversion. But since we're running on to the hour, I'm going to take a seated twist. So I like to bend, I'm going to bend my left knee and put the right sole of the foot on the outside of the knee, Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you prefer to have the left leg straight, go ahead and do that. And then keeping both hips grounded, reach the right hand behind you as you lengthen through the left side. And then you can either bring the tricep of the left arm to the outside of that right leg, staying long in the spine and twisting from your thoracic spine, but stay grounded into your hips. Maybe your gaze is behind you. And then take a couple of breaths here, feeling that breath steady and smooth and even. And let your gaze still stay soft. And then reverse out of that and take a counter twist. I like to stay high in my counter twist. Some people like to come down here. And just do what feels good. Come back to the center, lean back on your hands and maybe cross your legs. the other way. A little bit like that comedian, I can't remember his name. All done in the best possible taste. Reach your left arm behind you, the right arm up, and then come into that Ardha Matsyendrasana. You might want to bind here, that feels quite nice if you've got it in your body to bind by bringing the left hand behind and the right arm underneath. I haven't got that space, so finding the twist that suits you. Keeping the steadiness, keeping that sense of being grounded. And the next breath in, come back to the center, taking the counter twist, however it feels the best to you. And then back, undo your legs. And then coming into your Shabasana shape. So you can take any movements that make your Shabasana more comfortable. As I said, if you need to go with a headstand or any other inversion or a back bend, please do that. Maybe you want to take a happy baby or just wiggle your hips side to side, whatever you need. Try not to do too much movement. We're slowing down the nervous system now, allowing yourself the ability to learn how to find this calmness after a very active practice. And that will benefit us, when we find ourselves rushing from A to B in our lives, that we can click into this calm rest just for a few moments in our day. We need it. So however you feel safe and grounded in your practice of Shabasana, come to it. Might even be a seat. And then just let your breath be easy now. Let your body just breathe itself. So just stay here as long as you want to. I'm going to leave you and close off. Maybe with this Rumi quote, maybe you are searching in all the branches for what only appears in the roots. That's by Rumi. In other words, what you need is already there. Thank you for coming on Sunday. See you soon. Namaste. Bye.